Hello, my name is Vanessa Martir, also known as Loba. I am a writer, I'm an educator, I'm a mom, and I'm a badass. I'm also the creator of the hashtag 52 Essays 2017 challenge and the Writing Our Lives workshop, through which I've led several hundred writers through the journey of writing personal and memoir essays. I created this video to share with you why I created hashtag 52 Essays 2017. To do that, I'm going to have to take you back to 2015, the end of 2015. I learned that one of my colleagues, Sarah Dorman, had challenged herself to write an essay every week in 2015. Personally, I was working, and I'm still working on a memoir called The Dim Capacity for Wings, which has been a decade-long journey. I was terrified and also inspired by this quest that Sarah Dorman was on with her Essay Week Challenge. And because of that, I knew that I had to do it myself. I dubbed it The Relentless Files. The goal wasn't to write a polished essay. The goal was to confront my ego and to confront this perfectionism that has been self-sabotaging for so long. I wrote an essay every week in 2016. It ended up being 53 essays, which is a whole other story. But I did it. The journey was not easy. There were times that I did not want to write. I suffered through several different bouts of depression. I was really busy, like most of you. I got sick. I had a lot going on. I'm a mom. I have a partner. I had to show up for people in my life. But what I did to do the Relentless Files was I showed up for myself. I made time for my writing. I wrote these essays on the train, on my commutes to teaching and writing gigs and different appointments. I wrote them in the park, on my bed, at my desk, in cafes and restaurants across the city. I wrote them in my journal and on my computer and in the notes app on my phone. I wrote anywhere and everywhere. I showed up. And I'm still processing and unpacking what I learned from the Relentless Files challenge. But this much I can tell you. I learned how to get the fuck out of my own way. I learned to open myself up to mystery. I learned that I'm a braider in my storytelling style. And I really always have been. These realizations helped me go into my memoir this past summer, and I was able to finish half of it, 7 chapters. And I can tell you with all honesty that I'm not sure, and I'm pretty sure that I would not have been able to do that had I not done the Relentless Files challenge. Just after Christmas, I was talking to my bruja hermana. That's what we call each other, bruja hermanas, Liz Huerta. She lives in San Diego. And I was sharing with her what I had learned through the process. And I was telling her that I was considering doing it in 2017. And her face lit up and she flashed that supernova smile of hers. And she was like, "Can I do it too?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. You can do it, of course." You know that friend that you have that takes an idea, a small idea, a seed, and just like runs with it? That's Liz. Liz is my big idea friend. Before I knew it, she was talking a mile a minute. And she was saying, "You should tell people to join you. We can hashtag it. It can be 52 Essays 2017. Bruja, what could you do? Imagine what people could create." Sometimes Liz's ideas terrify me. They scare the shit out of me. But somehow I knew that I should do this one. So I did. I went onto my blog, vanessamartir.net, and I created a post, and I posted it on my Facebook, and I created a Facebook page. And as of today, it's been about 2.5 weeks. There are 550 members, writers who have joined the challenge on the Facebook page. And I would estimate that there are about 50 people doing the challenge on their own. That's 600 writers who have taken on the hashtag 52 Essays 2017 challenge. And that is beautiful. So why now? Why is this important now? Why in this political climate? Because our stories matter. Our stories have always mattered. All of our stories. Our stories of growing up in Bushwick and the Bronx during the height of the crack epidemic, when our neighborhoods were piles of rubble. Our stories of growing up in the burbs, right? With its greenery and its great schools. And all the secret lives behind the white picket fences, and the nuclear families. I want to hear your stories. I want you to tell me what you saw and how you felt and how you grieved. Tell me how you survived living in that two-story colonial next to a creek with a father who didn't love you. Tell me what it was like growing up gay in the Montes Sablares, Puerto Rico. Or wherever it was you grew up. Tell me how you lived. Because again, your stories matter. You matter. And I want to read them. I want to read about your first therapy session and how that therapist with her too big for her bodysuit and her big glasses made you feel so bad about what you shared that you didn't go back to therapy for 15 years. I want to read about how you sang freestyle songs at the top of your lungs from the perch on your window and how you learned all the choreography of Menudo's Una Aventura Llamada Menudo. And how hard it was to grow up in a lesbian relationship. Tell me about the time you punched that girl in the face because she had the nerve to tell you you're dirty like your lesbian moms. I want to read about that storefront Pentecostal church you grew up in with the name of the church in calligraphy on the front. And the women with their waist-long hair and those skirts to their shins. And the men in their guayaberas and the Bible and the crooks of their arms. And how they held their noses up so they could look down on you. I want to hear your stories. I want to read them. Why? Because this is how we rewrite the script. This is how we take back our stories and how we take back our power. This is how we show that contrary to what that fool Trump says, my tios are not rapists, and they are not criminals. Black lives do matter, and women are not here for you to grab and manhandle. This is who we are, told in our voices, through our own stories. The truth is I'm not the only one doing this work. There's Linda Nieves Powell with her Latina icon movement, and her plays, including Yo Soy Latina. There's Alicia Anabel Santos and Renzo with their documentary Afro-Latinos, The Untaught Story. There's John Leguizamo with his theater and his editorial essays. There's Lin-Manuel Miranda, who, if you don't know who he is, you are not with the times. He has revolutionized Broadway and theater. There is, of course, Junot Diaz with his novels and short stories. There's the poets in LES at the New Yorican, in Capicú, in Brooklyn, in Cave Canem, in Pittsburgh, and Lunada in San Francisco, and all over the place, because poets are everywhere. There was Diego Luna speaking in his glorious true voice and that fantastic Latino accent in Rogue One. And all these folks are showing us that representation matters, that our stories matter, that we can be our true, authentic selves anywhere and everywhere. But who's doing it in autobiographical writing? Who's doing it in memoir and personal essay, right? And memoir essay. Who's doing it? I'm not sure. But I know that I was looking for it. And I didn't see it as much as I wanted to see it. So that's what hashtag 52 Essays 2017 is really about. It's really about sharing our stories and telling our stories and taking back our power and writing our own narratives. That's what it's about. Join me. Let's do this. Hashtag 52 Essays 2017. I hope you're ready. I know I am.